Okay, we're going to talk about today a little bit about Mishloach Manos. So, a lot to talk about, and we'll try to get in wherever we could. So, the Mechaber says, the Halacha says, that Chayiv l'shleach l'chaveroi shtei manos basar shel mini oichlin. A person has to send to his friend on Purim 2 types of food. Mishloach Manos ish l're'eyu, it says in Pasuk, if we have to give 2 types of food to one person on Purim. That's Mishloach Manos ish l're'eyu, you have to send it on Purim. Now, last year we spoke about the famous machlokes, what the reason for Mishloach Manos is. Why do you have to send Mishloach Manos? We spoke about last year, there's a Shumas Hadeshen that says the reason is to make sure that every person has what to eat by the Sudas Purim. That's why there's a mitzvah to Mishloach Manos on Purim, to make sure every Jew has something to eat by the Sudas Purim. There shouldn't be any person that doesn't have what to eat. That's one reason. And the reason also from the Manos Halevi. The Manos Halevi was written by Rabbi Shlomo Al-Kabitz, person who wrote Al-Chadaydi, and he says the reason is to be Mabereis, meaning to make friendships, to have friendships one to the other on Purim, and that's why you have to send it. Those are the 2 main reasons why we send Mishloach Manos on Purim, and there's many differences between the 2 reasons, and maybe we'll go into a few of them today. But one thing I saw today, which has really struck me, was the Be'er Hativ says, Oid nistapakti, I had a suffix. Misha shalach l'chaveira shem medinas hayam. Someone sent his friend who's far away. He sent him Mishloach Manos before Purim, and on Purim itself, it gets to them. So the places speak about a lot about Matanos Lavyenim. It's a very famous thing. They give it to the Rabbi before Purim. He gives it on Purim. That's okay. But he asks, so what about Mishloach Manos? If I send somebody Mishloach Manos before Purim, the day before, let's say, and he gets it on Purim, so is that okay or not?
That's the idea, right?
He should get it on Purim.
Right. Yeah.
It says like this. Mi name do we say, Kivin de B'shor Shasholach Lehoya Chayev Bahem. But I sent it today. Sending it today.
No mitzvah.
So now there's no mitzvah on me.
Right.
So when I'm sending it, I don't have a mitzvah Mishloach Manos. So maybe I'm not yotze the mitzvah. Therefore, lo nafik in yotze. I don't know. Kivin de Purim Atzmoi Shushas Achiv on Purim itself, which is the time that is the Chiv of Mishloach Manos. Higia liyadai. It gets to the person's hand. Therefore, nafik. Therefore, yotze. That's the Be'er Hativ suffix. Mishloach Manos you send through the mail, or you send it with somebody. So this that people go away and they give Mishloach Manos the day before. It's nothing. That everybody agrees is nothing.
What if he tells the person, even though it's coming the day before, don't eat it?
Doesn't make a difference. If he got it the day before and you sent it the day before, it's nothing. Everyone agrees it's nothing.
In Israel, they deliver the day before.
Yeah, I know all these delivery things.
They're too busy. So
they deliver it before. I know the Beis Yaakov down south has this Purim project.
Right.
But they make sure it gets delivered on Purim itself.
Right.
I have 4 boxes sitting in my house for the past month. They're supposed to be giving out on Purim because it has to be given out on Purim. So it happens before Purim. If it's given and accepted before Purim, it's definitely not yotze Mishloach Manos. But how about if I send it before Purim and it reaches the person on Purim? Now, if you send it before Purim, you send it on Purim, and it reaches the person after Purim, everyone agrees it's nothing. Here is the only case where there's a suffix. I sent it before Purim and the person gets it on Purim.
If you send it to his house and he's not home till after Purim, you didn't know that. It arrives right in front of his door and it stays there, but he doesn't get it.
Oh, so it could be he got it. He's kind of chaser maybe. It's chotzer maybe. It's kind of.
You see it all the time.
Yeah,
you see it all the time, right?
Yeah.
Only part of the 2 people you send it to.
Yeah, 1 person. Yeah, you have to make sure. We'll see at the end. You have to make sure at least the 1 Mishloach Manos that you're sending. Make sure you yotze all the shittas.
Yeah, right.
After that already, okay. But at least the 1 that you're sending, you should make sure.
Extra credit.
Yeah. So that's a suffix, and he says, "Ayin yad Aaron shedaite noite de yotzi de chavase shaper." First from the yad Aaron that you are yotzi yechir if you send it before Purim, and the person gets it on Purim, yotzi. This is what the Be'er Heiter brings down. The Aruch HaShulchan argues, and the Aruch HaShulchan says if you send it before Purim and it reaches on Purim, you're not yotzi. And his reasoning is unbelievable. It's a whole new understanding of what Mishloach Manos is. He says, "V'yesh l'shtafik, k'sholach manos l're'eyu she'b'marchakim the far away, koydem Purim, and reaches on Purim, yesh mi sho'em the yotze." Some people say yotze. But Linear says the Aruch HaShulchan, I hold the lo yotze not yotze. Why? De'v'inon Mishloach Manos bePurim atzmai. You have to send it on Purim itself. Why? Ta'ikir ha-Mishloach Manos have mishum simcha. The main reason why you send the Mishloach Manos is because of simcha. You have to be mad with simcha. Ve'ezeh simcha hi loy ato masha shalach mekoydim. What simcha do you have on Purim if you send it before Purim? You see from the Aruch HaShulchan,
you have a simcha that he's getting it. My son is getting it in Israel.
You see from the Aruch HaShulchan a very, very important thing about Mishloach Manos. Mishloach Manos we're always used to that you send it to somebody and the person who accepts it is happy. So that's the Ma'abereyus. You see, in the Shulchan, it's not that way. Not just that. It's not just the acceptor. It's the giver also. The giver also who's sending to his friend a present. There's a simcha, and when you're sending it also, there's a simcha in you sending it. That simcha has to be on Purim. So your simcha is not when he gets it. Your simcha is when you give it. That's when your simcha is. When you give it to somebody, that's when your simcha is. Says the Aruch HaShulchan, for that reason, if you send it before Purim and it arrives on Purim, you're not yotze. Because you also have to have the simcha on Purim. It's unbelievable insight to Mishloach Manos. Right. Not just the acceptor, the giver also has to do with simcha.
So if the guy, if you get a phone call, that might be good.
No, because the main thing is this, your simcha is sending it.
Giving it.
Yeah, your simcha is the giving it.
Gotcha.
So it's a very interesting Aruch HaShulchan. But that's one point I wanted to speak out.
So that means having a shliach send it on your behalf.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's also good.
Why?
You're sending it. You're sending it.
You gave it to the shliach.
You're sending it to shliach. You're giving it to shliach on Purim.
No, that's what I'm saying. We did before Purim.
No, if you give it to shliach before Purim, it's no good. Also, you have to give it on Purim to shliach to give it. Because then your simcha is when you're giving it over to the shliach and he's bringing it over. Your simcha is when you're giving it. That's when your simcha is.
But you can give it to the shliach before in order for the shliach to deliver it
on Purim. Something else. If you give it to a shliach, you give it, so we'll get into that.
So that's like the
okay. Okay. Let's put that question on hold for a second, okay? We'll get back to that question. You send the shliach and you tell him to give it on Purim.
That's exactly the thing. You're giving it ahead of time for it to.
Okay. So we'll get to that. We'll get to that question. Leave that question aside now. Now I want to go to a different topic of Mishloach Manos. I will see that answers this question. The Mishnah Berurah brings down, right in the beginning of Mishloach Manos, a famous Pinyan Tzion. All the Achrayim speak about. Everybody knows about this. He says, "B'tshuvas Pinyan Tzion, this topic, Imhevi be'atzmei hamonas v'lo yayidei shliach." If someone brought the Mishloach Manos himself, not through a shliach, iyotze. If he yotze at all. Why? The chsev u'mishloach. You're sending it. Not that you're giving it. Mishloach Manos means you're sending it. If you give it yourself, you're not sending it, you're giving it. Right? So therefore says the Binyan Tzion that there's a suffix if you yotze Mishloach Manos by giving it yourself. That's why a lot of people, at least one or two Shalach Manos, and they give it to somebody else and say, you be my shliach to give it to this and this person. Right? Because there's Binyan Tzion, the Binyan Tzion says, Umeshloach Manos means you have to do it through a shliach. Not yourself. A messenger has to give it for you.
Yeah, but it also says Ishla Re'ehu. So, but if I'm giving it to you, you may not be a friend to that
person. It's my Mishloach Manos. I'm sending it through you, but it's still my Mishloach Manos. It doesn't become your Mishloach Manos because you're my messenger. It's my Mishloach Manos, I'm sending it through you. It's Ishla Re'ehu. Who's the sender? The sender is the original guy.
Isn't the whole idea that everybody should be chaverim? Isn't that the whole idea?
Yeah.
That everybody should just get close together?
Yeah, so
do me a favor.
Yeah, but who says through a shliach it doesn't happen? When the shliach is giving it over, he's saying, I'm giving you a shliach monas for this and this person. Yeah, you have to know who it's coming from. If you don't know who it's coming from...
I'm saying that's why you have the idea of a shlichus. So everyone is involved.
Oh, okay. Fine.
As chaverim,
It's not what the Ben Zion says. Yeah, the Ben Zion says is because it says Mushloach Monas, it means through a messenger.
Can I come to your house and give it to your kid and tell him?
Oh, okay, so that's what I'm going to now. What does it mean, a messenger? What does it mean you have to have a shliach to do it for you? Now we know there's a lot of sugyas about shlichus. A lot of different halachas about shlichus. That if you want to send a shliach to do something for you, there's a lot of halachas. A goy can't do it for you. A katan can't do it for you. For example, famous Gemara of shlichus is if you're Mekadosh Anisha, right? You're going to marry somebody. So you could go over to a lady and say, Re'at Mekadosh Li. You're married to me. Gemara says over there the same thing. Is if you don't do it yourself, you send a messenger, a shliach, and he goes over to the lady and says, Re'at Mekadosh Li. You're Mekadosh to this person. That is called shlichus. Now in the parasha of shlichus, what's happening? I'm not going over to the woman and being Mekadosh. I'm sending somebody else. The messenger is going ahead, he's saying, it has to be as if I'm doing it myself. Because if I'm not doing it myself, it doesn't work. I'm not married to her, this guy is married to her. So the chiddush of shlichus is that it's like you yourself are doing it. There's certain mitzvahs that you can't have shlichus. For example, I can't send somebody to eat matzah for me. I'm going to send somebody to eat matzah for me, it doesn't work. Because there is no din shlichus. Because when he eats matzah, it's not as if I ate matzah. Because the klal is a mitzvah shebegufay, a mitzvah that's dependent in your guf. If someone can't do it for you, kiddush is not mitzvah shebegufay. It's not the drinking; it's the kiddush itself. It's not miru. That's all I can say for you. Shofar. Shofar is not a mitzvah shebegufay. You can make a shliach to blow shofar for you. Right? Putting on tefillin is a mitzvah shebegufay. You have to put on your guf. You have to put it, you can't have a shliach.
Same
but
thing as if sukkahs.
Sukkah, you can't send somebody to eat the sukkah for you because you have to eat the sukkah yourself. That's a mitzvah shebeguf, a mitzvah that's dependent in your body. You can't have a shliach do it for you.
That's part of it. So why not make a bracha on this shliach, like on giving the shliach manas? Why not make
a bracha?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get to bracha. Why not make a bracha on shliach manas? We'll get to that in a second. Why don't make a bracha? But so that's shlichus, right? So I go ahead and send the shliach for me to do it for me. Shliach shalom k'moisai. I send the shliach to go ahead and be mekadosh a lady for me. So it's like I myself did it. There it says if you send a goy, let's say, or a katan, ain't shlichus l'katan. The katan can't be a shliach. If a katan goes over, a minor goes over to a lady and says harei mekadosh l'ploini, it doesn't work. Why? Because that person has to be able to do that thing himself. If a person can't do it himself, it can't be your shliach. A goy can't do it either. The question is Mishloach Manas. I want to send somebody to take my Mishloach Manas and give it over to somebody else. Is there a din shlichus? Does he have to have, it could be a cotton, it could be a goy. So here, there's a famous Chassam Sofer, a lot of them speak it out, that says there's two types of shlichus. There's one shlichus that makes shliach shel adam k'moisai, that it's like I myself am doing it, and the other one is just a messenger ba'alma, just sending somebody to do something for you. Doesn't have to be k'moisai. I'll read the last of the Chassam Sofer. V'da v'hovei. You should know this. Kol ma she'omer Chazal ploini bar shlichus or any bar shlichus. This person it could be a shliach, it can't be a shlichus. Hainu shlichus k'moisai. That's only when the shliach has to be like him. Our shliach, but when he doesn't have to be k'moisai like you. For example, he has to deliver something for you. Then he says, our shliach are full of kaif. Even a monkey could do it. Yachaliyah shliach. Elosh eine k'moisai. He's not like you. There's two things. If you want it to be as if you yourself did it, then he has to be someone who's in the parsha, who could be a shliach. But if you just want a guy to do a messaging service for you, a full of kaif ba'alma, even a monkey can do it for you, he says. Nafkamina, if the Torah is makbid that you should do it yourself, then you have to have shliach shalom k'moisai. But if the Torah is makbid not that you have to do it yourself. You should do it through a messenger. For example, he says, Mishloach Manis, there, he doesn't have to be Kemoisai. There is just a messenger. So says the Chassam Sofer, if you want to send somebody to give Mishloach Manis for you, then he doesn't have to be a Kemoisai. He's just a messenger. He's delivering it for you. Just delivering it for you. So that's the case. When someone asks you to give Mishloach Manis for them, a cotton could do it. You could ask a miner to go ahead and deliver the Mishloach Manis for you. Doesn't make a difference. It's Ma'aser Koif Alma. You want to send it through the post office? They also could do it.
But you can't.
Well,
Post office, unless it's done on that same day.
yeah, that's on the same day. Right, the
It
same
won't
day.
work post
Well, like
office.
courier service.
Federal Express. Yeah, Federal
That's the
Express.
night before.
Courier later. Courier
Yeah,
service.
okay.
Get to find the same day.
That's right. Same day. Same day.
That's it.
As long as it's happening the same day, okay. If you're going to say that Mishloach Manis, you want to do it through a shliach, and you want the shliach to be Kemoisai, right? For example, you're going to be away for Purim. You're not going to have anybody with you. You want to be Mekayim Mishloach Manis. But I can't do it because I'm not around. No one's with me. So what do? You make a shliach, and he should deliver Mishloach Manis for you on Purim. If it's a messenger, then you basically gave it the day before Purim. If the shliach becomes kemoisai like you, he's instead of you, then it's as if you yourself gave it on Purim. But the difference would be, there you can't use a cotton. There you can't use a cotton. If you want the person to be as if you yourself did it, then you can't use a cotton.
Can you tell a guy to go buy it for you on Purim, and you pay him after Purim?
And when he's delivered for you? So it depends. If he's a messenger service only, then
A yid.
no. So then it has to be a bar shlichus. Then it has to be someone who's instead of you.
Right.
That's the difference. If you want the person to be instead of you,
That's instead of you.
yeah. So then if he's instead of you, then he can do it.
Even though you owe him the money. And
Yeah, he can do it for you. You can make him a shliach to do it. Just to take care of it for you. But if he's only the shlichus that we have of a Ma'aser Koif Ba'alma, that is just a messenger service, then you can't go ahead and use a cotton. You can't tell someone to buy it for you. You have to give the person the food to give it over. There will be a difference in shlichus. So now, when the school goes ahead and sends Mishloach Manis to other people, so it depends. If they're doing it shlichus, that means messenger service. So then the whole thing, according to Aruch HaShulchan, since they're not giving it over on Purim itself, then it's nothing. I'm just a messenger service. I got it from the person already 2 days ago. But if I become Kemoisai, then it's okay.
So it's like chocolate charm where they have to go to delivery people. It's not so good.
Because if they give it on Purim, it's good. Yeah, no, because that's not Kemoisai. So deliver it on Purim. If they give it to the person on Purim, and the guy delivers it on Purim itself, then it's fine.
So giving it to the courier 2 days before, and then he decides to just on the day of.
No, that's not good enough. Courier for sure not. Because a courier doesn't become Kemoisai. It's a guy, can't become Kemoisai, can't be like you.
Post office is not good either.
Also, right. Also was 2 days before is not good. The only time it'd be good is if the person who's doing it for you. No, only if he's a shliach. If he's a Jewish adult who could be your shliach Kemoisai, he's like you. It's as if you yourself gave it over, then you're okay.
And to make a shliach, you need any kinyan or anything to, or
No,
just
you can make him a shliach. You can make him a shliach.
Yeah. In God we trust. Everyone else we trust.
That would be a din of shlichus. Now,
So you didn't answer about your kid. If I can give it to yours.
yeah. So if you could, you could on Purim.
But it's a cotton.
On Purim, you give it to a kid.
Your son, and
Yeah.
I give it to your father.
100%. Doesn't make a difference.
So that way
His only message on Purim itself, when you give it to a kid, anybody, to give it to somebody else, all it is a messenger service. It's a way of getting it from me to you.
No,
If you use a
he's
cotton,
like you're related to. He's like you're part
doesn't
of
make a
your
difference.
family.
Doesn't make a difference. Doesn't make a difference. All you need is
Not testifying.
that you're not giving it yourself, you're sending it through somebody else. It could be a cotton. There's a halacha, right? It's not a halacha that men shouldn't send ladies Mishloach Manis, and ladies shouldn't send men Mishloach Manis. So men to men, ladies to ladies. So now I'm sending you Mishloach Manis, but I need a messenger. So I want to give it to a girl, my daughter, to give it to you. That's not a problem. Because she's not Kemoisai, she's not instead of me. she's just a messenger service. She can give it over to you. It's not a problem. Because it's not a shlichus of k'moisa. That wouldn't be a problem. So basically, it's kedai for because there's being seen at least one or two shalach monasin give to somebody to give over to somebody else. And it could be anybody. It could be a child. Doesn't make a difference.
Or you come to the house, like I said. Come to the house.
Come to the house.
Kid answers the door. Give it to your father.
Do me a favor. Give it to your father. That's good enough. Then you yaitza. It's not a problem. Now, the Ramah says that if someone sends Mishleich Monis to somebody else, and the person says, I don't want it. His broigas.
So that's why you don't make a bracha then.
The second one.
That's like tzedakah, the same idea.
And the person says, I'm not interested. Or the person says, I'm moichel it. Usually moichel is broigas, but it's a nice way of saying. But the person, I don't want to accept it. I don't need it. So are you yotzi mitzvah Mishleich Monis or not? The person didn't accept it. So the Ramah says, yotza. The Ramah says that if you send Mishleich Monis to somebody, he doesn't accept it, you're yotzi mitzvah. He didn't accept it, Mishmur brings down, machlokes in that. To be chadash says you're not yotzi. What's the machlokes?
No reyus. I mean, he doesn't want it.
No, that's the opposite.
He's trying to get reyus, but at that point, it's...
Who do you need?
No, it's just the opposite. If you hold that the din of Mishleich Monis is, you have to make sure that that people have food for the Suda. He didn't accomplish that. He didn't take it from you. But if you hold it's reyus, friendship, I did my part.
Right.
He didn't want to accept it. That's his problem. Right? You did your part. You tried. He didn't want to accept it. Right? There's another whole question. If you have a choice to give Mishleich Monis to a friend or to an enemy, which one is better? I turned around the ways. I'm leaving so fast.
We don't know you. We're not giving you. Don't worry.
What's the choice? What's better? Some Achronim want to say it's better to give it to your friend. Because the enemy is not going to accept it. It's not reyes. He's not accepting it. It's still upset at you. A friend, you might have more reyes. So maybe better to give it to someone you like. But there's another question over it.
But isn't... I would agree in the friend, but isn't that based on the whole Indian of that you started originally this year that you have to be happy and then the simcha that you're giving it works.
Right.
It works both ways.
But you need both of them.
Right. So if you're giving it to your enemy, then you might be simply he's not happy. So therefore you wouldn't be makayim the mitzvah
right.
at all.
If you hold it to reyes, could be not makayim the mitzvah.
And but then it would work the same way even if I gave it to my friend who says I'm not that I don't want it or
also you're not right.
Then you wouldn't be.
Then you wouldn't be yotze. You wouldn't be yotze.
But you said you were though.
The Ramah says a yotze.
Right. Okay, but
the
based on the original,
yes, so it depends. So could we do the Ramah like the Chumash Deshen? And the main thing is I sent food for somebody. You say you're not raised if they're both not happy.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. He's right. According to the Ramah, we understand.
It has to be
both. Yeah. According to the Ramah, we understand why you don't make a bracha. So, no, just the opposite. According to the Ramah, we don't understand why you don't make a bracha. Because according to the Ramah, if I send the Mishleich Monis and you decline, I'm Yetzer. I'm Yetzer the mitzvah. So why should I make a bracha? If you decline and I'm not Yetzer, so I can't make a bracha, the same way you don't make a bracha on stucco. Why don't you make a bracha on stucco? Because it could be the Ani won't accept, he'll decline it. If he declines it, then you're not Yetzer the mitzvah. So you can't make a bracha.
Every mitzvah that you do is that you involve with the second part.
Right. That's right.
I don't do
That's right. That's why the Rosh says by Kedushin, you make the bracha after the Kedushin, because she may decline. You never know. Right?
It came all that way.
Yeah, you never know.
He could say something up there last second.
Yeah. You never know.
Why don't you make a
last second and that's the end of that.
So that's there's one other thing I wanted to speak out.
You do the mitzvah by doing it.
There's one other thing here. How about if you send Mishleich Monis to a katan? You sent Mishleich Monis to a child, are you to the mitzvah or not? So the Aruch HaShulchan says, "V'yesh l'stapik im shalach likatan im yotze." If you send to a katan, if you're yotze or not. V'nir l'fi is not nice. Is daiti sheyotze. Says the Aruch HaShulchan you're yotze. You send Mishleich Monis to a katan, you're yotze the mitzvah. Why? The whole the re'eyu ksiv. So the Mishleich Monis ish the re'eyu. Katan gam kem b'chlal. Katan's a re'eyu. So you're yotze. Not everybody agrees to Aruch HaShulchan. Doch Shulchan holds, we said Tarkotin, Yetzer Mishloach Monas.
You grew up, you know the lecture.
Huh?
You grew up,
Yeah,
you know the
yeah.
lecture.
Yeah, you send them a little something. Those are the halachas. I just want to speak out an insight on Purim is we find that in the Megillah, in the Nes of Purim, it's called the Nes Nista, meaning you read through the Megillah from beginning to end, you don't see anything. That's why Hashem's name doesn't appear in the Megillah at all. And the reason is because if you go through it, you could say the whole thing happened. It wasn't a miracle. It was teva. It was nature that happened. Nothing out of ordinary happened. We know, read the whole Megillah, we see it's not nature, it's not teva. Hashem pulled strings here, and a little bit here, a little bit there, and that's how the whole Nes of Purim happened. That's why it doesn't say Hashem's name inside, because Hashem's name is Nister, it's hidden in the Megillah. The whole Hashem is hidden in the Megillah. So you see that Purim is a time that every day we go through life, and we could blame everything that happens to us, kamat. We could say it's nature, it's regular. We don't see Hashem's yad, Hashem's hand in everything we do. That's what the Megillah is all about, to see Hashem's hand in everything that we do. There's a chinuch that says by the mitzvah of Makkah, you have to put a fence around the roof of your house. Why? Because someone should walk on it and fall off. Says the chinuch, what do you have to put a fence for? This person, is he supposed to die? We know that whatever Hashem does, wants to happen, is going to happen. So why do you have to put a fence for? Hashem doesn't want this person to die, he won't die. Says the chinuch, no. Hashem created the world, and he put a certain teva, a certain nature in the world. He put a certain teva in the world, and we are meshubed to this nature. That means you stick your hand on fire, you can get burnt. You jump off a roof, you hurt yourself.
You say Shmartim is not first rate?
Yeah. So why? Because we have to be careful because there's a certain nature in the world. And Hashem made the nature, and we are meshubed to this certain. Of course, the Eibusher can change it whenever he wants. But the usual is, we go according to this teva. Then he said there are certain Hasidim that Hashem didn't say they are meshubed to the nature. The nature is subservient to them. For example, Avraham Avinu jumped into Ur Kasdim and didn't get burnt. Why not? Because he's above nature. He's above nature. That's what the chinuch says. Daniel jumped into the lion's den. Why? Because these people were above nature. Says the chinuch, this is the Ramban, that a person who sees the Yad Hashem in everything, the more we see the Yad Hashem in what we're doing, the more we're not subservient to Teva. The more we believe that everything is Teva, it's not Hashem, then the more we are meshubed to Teva. Everybody has his own things. You can see certain things happen. It doesn't make any sense. But it's because if you yourself don't make yourself meshubed, subservient to the nature, Hashem says, I'll deal with you directly. I won't give you over to the Teva. That's what the chinuch says. You can't get carried away. Some people get carried away. They think they're on a higher level than they are, and then there's a famous story that someone asked Chaim Kanievsky. There's a halacha that says that when you go into the bathroom, you're supposed to say Yischabed Mechubadim. Yischabed Mechubadim means every person has two malachim with him wherever you go. When you go into the bathroom, you tell them to wait outside. I'm going to use the washroom and I'll come back in. So you're supposed to say Yischabed Mechubadim is lashon of stay back. Honorable people, stay back. The halacha is today we don't say that. Because we're not holding that daga. We're not holding the daga that we have a malachim with us. They say someone came to Chaim Kanievsky and said to him, I feel like I know I have malachim with me. So I'm a chuyiv to say Yischabed Mechubadim. Let's say you went to Chaim and asked him this question. I know that this person obviously, something wrong with him because no one has malachim today. So Chaim asked him two words. He said, Tish'al or Tam. Ask them. Ask them malachim what they say, and they'll give you an answer. Meaning, don't get carried away. A person has to know where he's holding. But definitely, a person could bring himself to higher dargas of Amunah through believing that everything comes through Hashem, and then things change. That is what we see from the Megillah. Hashem's name is not in the Megillah. We have to find it. And there are certain places, if you go through Sefer Kabbalah, we see a certain place that Hashem's name is Merumaz in the Megillah. We have to find it in our everyday life also to realize where Hashem is in our everyday lives.
Square.
Further from Purim.